Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the life you're living no longer feels like yours. Imagine carrying a body that feels heavy not only on your back, but on your confidence, your mental health, and your future. This is not just a weight loss story. This is a story about hitting rock bottom, about being invisible in a room full of people, and about making a decision that changes everything. Today, we're diving into the real journey of Aayala Catt, a woman who lost more than 165 pounds, but gained something far more powerful than a new body. Discipline, self-respect, and a belief that once seemed impossible. Stay with us, because this transformation isn't about before and after photos. It's about what happens in the moments when no one is watching. Aayala Catt is one of the most powerful and talked about transformation stories to emerge from social media in recent years. She didn't start as a celebrity, an athlete, or someone with special resources. She was simply a regular American woman living an everyday life while quietly battling severe obesity, emotional exhaustion, and a deep struggle with self-confidence. For years, her weight affected not only how she looked, but how she felt, how she was treated, and how she saw her own future. Daily tasks felt heavier, social situations felt uncomfortable, and motivation often felt out of reach. But what makes Aayala's story different is not where she started, it's the moment she decided she was done surviving and ready to start changing. With no shortcuts, no illusions, and no overnight miracles, she chose to fight for herself. Step by step, discipline replaced excuses, consistency replaced self-doubt, and pain slowly turned into purpose. What began as a deeply personal journey soon became something much bigger. By sharing her process openly and honestly, Aayala transformed from someone who felt invisible into a voice of motivation for hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Her story isn't about perfection or genetics, it's about resilience, courage, and the decision to take control of your life when no one else will do it for you. Before the followers, before the recognition, and before the transformation, Aayala was living a life that felt constantly heavy. At her highest weight, she reached nearly 280 pounds, and every part of her daily routine was affected. Simple movements required more effort, energy drained quickly, and even ordinary days felt exhausting. But the physical weight was only part of the struggle. The emotional burden was often even heavier. She faced judgmental looks in public, silent assumptions from strangers, and moments where she felt completely unseen as a person. Over time, those experiences slowly chipped away at her confidence and self-worth. Aayala has openly shared that she tried to lose weight many times before. Diets would start with hope and end in frustration. Motivation would rise, then disappear. Each failed attempt left behind disappointment and the painful belief that maybe change just wasn't meant for her. That cycle of trying, failing, and blaming herself pushed her into a long period of emotional exhaustion. It wasn't just about food or exercise anymore, it was about feeling trapped inside a body that didn't reflect who she wanted to be. And for a long time, that struggle felt endless. In 2020, Aayala reached a moment that would quietly change the direction of her entire life. There was no dramatic announcement, no sudden miracle, and no perfect timing. There was only a decision, a serious one. A decision to stop making excuses, to stop waiting for motivation, and to stop accepting a life she no longer recognized as her own. This wasn't about starting another temporary diet or chasing a quick result. This was about changing the way she thought, the way she treated herself, and the way she showed up every single day. For the first time, she committed to the process instead of the outcome. She understood that real change would be uncomfortable, slow, and often painful, but she chose it anyway. That year became the turning point where discipline replaced comfort, consistency replaced excuses, and self-respect replaced self-doubt. It was the moment Aayala stopped asking if change was possible, and started proving that it was. Before any surgery, before medical interventions, and before the world noticed her transformation, Aayala started with the hardest part, showing up. She committed herself to movement, structure, and healthier choices, even when her body felt heavy and progress felt slow. Through consistent workouts and mindful eating, she managed to lose nearly 25 pounds using nothing but discipline and effort. This phase of her journey is crucial, because it proves an important truth: surgery was never a shortcut, and it was never the solution by itself. It was simply a tool. The real work happened long before that, in early mornings, repeated routines, and the decision to keep going even when results weren't immediate. By building these habits first, Aayala laid the foundation for everything that came next. She didn't wait to feel confident before she started. She started so she could become competent. And that mindset made all the difference. By the end of 2020, after months of preparation, mental readiness, and physical effort, Aayala underwent gastric sleeve surgery. For many people, this moment is seen as the finish line, but for her, it was only the beginning of a new and more demanding chapter. The surgery helped reduce the size of her stomach and limit how much she could eat, but it did not change her mindset, her habits, or her discipline. That part was entirely on her. Recovery was not easy. Her body had to adjust, energy levels fluctuated, and every meal required intention and control. She had to relearn her relationship with food, prioritize hydration, and fuel her body properly despite fatigue and discomfort. At the same time, she refused to abandon movement. Even on difficult days, she found ways to stay active, knowing that consistency mattered more than intensity. This phase exposed the reality behind the surgery: it doesn't do the work for you. It only creates the opportunity. And Aayala chose to honor that opportunity with discipline, patience, and relentless commitment. Over the course of nearly 2 years, Aayala achieved something most people only dream of. She lost around 165 pounds. The scale kept dropping, her body kept changing, and the transformation became impossible to ignore. What once felt unreachable slowly became reality. But with that success came challenges no one prepares you for. Excess skin became a constant reminder of how far she had come, yet also a new source of discomfort and insecurity. Looking in the mirror felt unfamiliar. The body was lighter, but the identity was still catching up. Mentally, she faced a strange and emotional disconnect. The world now treated her differently, yet inside, she was still adjusting to who she had become. Compliments replaced judgment, attention replaced invisibility, and that shift carried its own emotional weight. This phase of the journey wasn't about losing more pounds. It was about learning how to live in a body that no longer felt like the past, but hadn't fully become the future yet. It was a reminder that transformation doesn't end when the weight is gone. Sometimes, that's when the real work begins. To fully complete her transformation, Aayala made another difficult decision, one that was just as emotional as it was physical. She underwent surgery to remove excess skin, not out of vanity, but out of necessity. After losing so much weight, the skin no longer fit the body she had worked so hard to build. The recovery was painful, demanding patience and mental strength all over again. But what truly set this stage apart was her honesty. Aayala openly shared that she also chose to undergo cosmetic procedures to improve her body's shape. Instead of hiding it or creating unrealistic expectations, she spoke to her audience with transparency. She made it clear that confidence doesn't come from pretending, it comes from truth. In a world filled with filters and illusions, Aayala chose reality. She reminded her followers that transformation looks different for everyone, and that there is no shame in using available tools to feel comfortable in your own skin. This chapter wasn't about perfection. It was about alignment, between the body she built, the confidence she earned, and the honesty she refused to compromise. As Aayala continued to share her journey, something unexpected happened. What began as a personal transformation quietly turned into a global story. Her videos spread rapidly across Instagram and TikTok, reaching hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Before and after clips, workout routines, and raw moments of honesty resonated deeply with audiences who saw themselves in her struggle. For many viewers, her content wasn't just motivating, it was proof. Proof that change is possible, even after years of failure. Comments flooded in from people who had lost hope, people who felt stuck, and people who needed someone real to believe in. Aayala didn't present perfection. She shared progress. And that authenticity is what built her community. Her story traveled far beyond algorithms and trends, because it spoke directly to those who needed it most. Over time, Aayala became more than just a woman who lost weight. She became a message. Through her words, her actions, and her consistency, she reminded people that transformation isn't reserved for a certain body type, background, or past. She spoke openly about failure, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from. Every setback, every restart, and every difficult day became part of the process, not the end of it. Ayala's message was clear and repeated with purpose: change is possible for anyone who refuses to quit on themselves. Her story gave permission to try again, to move forward without shame, and to believe that progress doesn't require perfection. For many, she became the voice they needed, calm, real, and honest, reminding them that no matter how many times you fall, you are never too far gone to rise again. In the end, the story of Aayala Catt was never about a perfect body. It was about a decision. A decision to stop giving up. To stay patient when progress was slow. And to keep going even after falling more times than she could count. Her journey proves that success isn't about never failing, it's about refusing to quit. It's about choosing discipline over comfort, consistency over excuses, and self-belief over fear. Ayala's transformation reminds us that real change happens one choice at a time, one day at a time. And that's why her message remains so powerful and so real. Anything is possible. Not when life is easy, but when you finally decide that you're worth the effort. If this story inspired you, stay connected for more powerful journeys like this, only here on Gorgeous Models.